Today is day 28 of our drive from Singapore all the way to Tibet and then to Beijing. The roads out of the place that we were staying was absolutely horrible and riddled with potholes. It amazes me how we can drive across an oasis in the middle of the Gobi Desert. It is time to whip out my drone and have a look at these Martian landscape formed out of millions of years on this barren land. I saw many trucks transporting cars in a manner that looked like the cars are going to fall off anytime. We stopped by a little town called Mengya for lunch. This town definitely doesn't see any sort of international tourists. Time for us to press on towards Ruoqiang. The traffic police over here has asked all of us to take a compulsory 20-minute break from our long drives. You can see the traffic police over there. And all the cars, including all the truckers, have to take a compulsory 20-minute break. We were glad to reach Ruoqiang before nightfall. Let's take a look at how this town looks like from up above. One thing I came to realize about many Chinese towns is that they all have very nice parks. Day 29, we are moving from Ruoqiang towards Minfeng, which will take about 560 kilometers. We were running low on fuel and had to visit a gas station. Buying petrol in Xinjiang is a pretty complicated and sensitive issue due to the situation here. You can see that you need a local ID to get into a petrol kiosk, and it is protected by barbed and concertina wires throughout. We stopped at a small town, Qiemo, for lunch. It may be a small town, but it is very well planned out and it's a beautiful and quiet town. 运动下的大家很好的哦，真的很好。Driving into the sunset, that's a view to die for. It was pretty early when we reached the small town of Minfeng. Our hotel is located next to a car workshop, and that's a blessing in disguise, which you will find out why soon. Day 30 of our expedition drive is from Minfeng to Hetian. We found that one of our cars suffered a puncture. Thankfully, the workshop is just next to our hotel. Here you see a long piece of metal has penetrated the tire. The workshop fixed it in less than 15 minutes and we went about our way. There are lots and lots of police checks in Xinjiang and Tibet, and we have been advised to slow down and stop if we are tired. We are on the way to Hetian for lunch, and here we are stopping for a petrol refill. In the Xinjiang region, petrol isn't easy to come by. You see we've got a massive queue just to enter the petrol kiosk car by car. to top up, and you need a local ID in order to top up the fuel. Long stretch. This is what we need to fill up petrol at the petrol kiosk in Xinjiang, the Chinese national's ID. Before we enter the petrol kiosk, we gotta do a inspection of our contents of our car boot to make sure that we are not carrying contrabands or anything that's illegal. All cars entering various towns of Xinjiang has to go through a strict police check. As the town of Hetian is on the edge of the Taklamakan Desert, therefore you look at all the trees, they are all brown color with a lot of coating of sand, and cars here are mostly coated with a layer of sand as well. We were all famished, and that made our seafood lunch tasted all the better. Hetian is famous for being a historical source of nephrite jade used in ancient China. This is a replica of the ancient Yokhan city in Hetian Prefecture. Unfortunately, we were there in the afternoon where not very much was happening, but in the evenings, especially during weekends, this place amazes tourists by reproducing traditional trade and arts along the ancient Silk Route. Walnut trees are spread out over thousands of hectares, and you can see them everywhere in this part of Xinjiang. Inside this garden, you can find a walnut tree that is allegedly 1,300 years old. 好吃。好香啊。尝一个吗？ Just outside this garden, we found a little bazaar going on selling local delicacies. 对吧？ No visit to Xinjiang is complete without having Khao Qian Yang, and that's what we're gonna have today. No dogs allowed. It's a Muslim establishment. After dinner, we walked over to the Hetian night market. I was surprised to see that it is bustling with energy, with all sorts of delicacies and food sold. You get barbecue seafood and even soft-shell turtles. Horse meat is also really common in Xinjiang. One of the favorites of the locals are actually sheep's testicles, eggs of all sizes and from all kinds of birds. All kind of bugs and creepy crawlies. Yogurt made from camel's milk. Day 31, we are leaving Hetian to drive towards Kashi. Have a look at this. It's almost 9 AM in the morning, but yet it's still pretty dark outside. That is because Xinjiang decides to align with the entire China time, and the whole of China has the same time zone. That is why the breakfast starts later here and dinner also happens a lot later. As always, a police check before we leave the town. A small sandstorm reduced our visibility as we travel across the Taklamakan Desert. My range, I only have 15 kilometers till empty, but I have about 75 kilometers to my destination. Pray for me, internet. Pray for me. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. So to make sure that I have enough to get to my destination, enough petrol, I have turned off my air conditioning. That has been turned off. I'm running on eco mode and I'm traveling at just 100 kilometers per hour. Hopefully that can last me till the next petrol stop, because I'm running on empty. Look at that, the fuel low fuel light is on. I'm running on reserve now, and I still have another 65 kilometers more to go to my destination. We finally made it. My reserve tank has a 50 kilometer range. We didn't get stranded on the highway. Finally made it. To get into a gas station in Xinjiang, you need to go through security, present your license plate as well as a local ID. Here our guide is using her local ID and her facial recognition in order to get entry into the gas station. We stopped by Sartre City for lunch as well as to visit the ancient town. It's really dusty because it's located at the edge of the desert. Sartre Laocheng is one of the more interesting markets that I've visited on this trip. You get all kinds of local produce, barbecued meats, local handicrafts, as well as all kinds of knickknacks the locals need. How Yang Rou Chuan looked really delicious, but alas, they were not ready, so I didn't get to try any. All kinds of insoles, from woolen to decorative, to sports and leather insoles, all types of insoles. Pretty interesting, isn't it? They've even had a second-hand flea market where their locals could come by and sell stuff that they had.
시장은 doğrusu. 시장은 gel şuraya geldi kolyeyi çıkarıyor şu mağazalar arasında kıymet ya. Peki ma eçen poşet mi?
Liema Maro Dian. Horse meat is really popular in Xinjiang. Maro. It was time to bid farewell to the beautiful city of Chartres.
bring us back where it all began. To bring us back where it all began.
These are the famous cotton fields of Xinjiang. Due to the favorable climate, altitude, water, Xinjiang produces one of the best quality cotton. After a long drive, we have finally reached Kashi. I'm here at Kashi in Xinjiang, and it's almost 8 p.m. and have a look at the skies around us. It looks like daylight still. That is because the sun sets later here in Kashgar. They have actually aligned the time here to match Beijing's time, even though their sunrise and sunset doesn't match. That's one of the quirks of being here in Kashgar.
We can just let it fade away. We can just let it